You're able to see my screen, right?
Yes,
Ah,
ma'am.
yes.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay. So now we are just going to talk about type of attributes and say similarity metrics, dissimilarity metrics and all that. So let us just first talk about our data. So of course we all know what kind of data we have. Already you have started working on data. We know what would be there in our data set. So we know that we have instances and we have attributes. So attributes or features we say. So they are actually data is described by these features or attributes. So now when I say attributes, we even say that dimension. So when I say high dimensional data, it means you have large number of attributes or features, isn't it? So then and instances are the number of objects. So when it is a mail, spam or ham kind of data, the number of emails would be your number of instances. Number of attributes would be your columns. Always you shouldn't say column row because it can be anyways presented. But the variables would be like say if it is patient details, the age, height, weight, then say parameters like say sugar, pressure and all that. So those are all the features, dimensions, variables, etc. So I think by now you would be clear with that. So now what are the types of attributes? So we have something called nominal, binary, numeric, etc. So what is this nominal? So nominal means this kind of categoric attributes only. But what happens is there is no specific order or something like that. So it is just some uh, discrete values, but like some names are there. Like say, for example, hair color. So hair color can be say black, brown, gray, etc. We can't say gray is important than white, etc. There is no order or there is or gray is greater than white or larger than white, smaller than white, nothing like that. We don't know. So it's just some colors. So some discrete categories, but then we don't have any no meaningful order is there. So hair color can be one example. Now another example could be occupation. So like say teacher, doctor. So those kind of things. So there is no specific order and all, but we can say programmer, dentist, so many kinds of occupation. Similarly, some ID numbers, say zip codes, some marital status like say married, single, divorced. So like this, you have so many. So they don't have an order specifically, but they are some like discrete or some categories we can say. So of course they have usually names like say hair color. If you say or some color of something like say red, brown, green, etc. You may have colors like say color of a particular bag or something if you are going to categorize them. So you may have colors. So the color can be attribute, sorry, nominal, and say the names would be or the values would be like say red, white, green, etc. Now, though we mentioned that its names, it can even be represented with values. Like say you were telling about in the lab, you had to convert it to new numbers. So even when you convert, it is not like your normal numeric values, numeric attributes. So like say for example, we can represent zero as black as zero, say red as one, green as two. Those kind of numbers can be given. So, but mathematical operations may not be meaningful. Like say for example, when I say age, so I can when I say 2 minus 3 or say 10 minus 5, there is some kind of meaning. But then the numeric value when you subtract and all, there is some meaning when you do that. So, but then when you talk about a, nominal value, which is just represented with numbers, it actually does not have, it is actually not quantitative, so it does not have any meaning when you do any mathematical operation on this. So, subtracting and all that does not have any meaning when you have, though you have a number represented for like say color or marital status, etc. It does not make any sense if you do any mathematical operations. Okay, so they are actually nominal attributes. So of course when we say this, even performing your average, that is the mean, median, etc., also does not make any sense because it is not quantitative. It is just some categories. Even if you assign some value, it is not actually like a numeric variable. So, so we can't. So if there is a replace with, sorry, the missing value replacing, if it's a like say. For example, what is this hair color? Say if I have 5 colors and then I put say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it doesn't make sense to replace with median or mean. Okay, what would be best suitable is replacing with mode, because mode is the frequently occurring. So when it is nominal attributes, mode only makes sense, not your mean or median. Okay, so that also you should keep in mind. Now, next is binary attribute. So what is binary attribute? So this nominal attribute when you have two states. So 1, 0 when you give. Okay, that is also not like a numeric value. It's just 1 and 0. So maybe like present, absent, smoker, he is a smoker or not smoker. Or say patient has cancer, no cancer. Or male, female, like 0, 1 we give. Or say medical test positive, negative. So 1, 0. So all these are actually binary. Okay, it has only two values, and usually they assign for present, like say if it is a yes kind of thing, we give value 1 and the other one would have a value 0. Now, what is this asymmetric and symmetric? That is, the attribute can have only two values, but if both values are having equal importance, like say gender, so male and female, it's having equal weightage. So we can say it's symmetric binary. That is 0 and 1 are having equal importance. So we say it is symmetric binary. Now, what is asymmetric binary? That is like say medical test, if it is positive and negative, can we treat it like equally important? Is it having equal importance when I say a medical test came positive and medical test came negative? It has different importance, isn't it? So there it is asymmetric binary. Okay, like say a disease when it is positive, like cancer is positive, or say HIV positive, or some kind of medical test, etc., where one is having more weightage. So if you give, usually the medical test when it is positive, it has more weightage. Okay, so you usually might give the number as 1 there. So positive might give, it has more importance. So you may give number as 1 and the other one could be 0. But anyway, asymmetric means we don't usually, the both values does not have equal importance. So that is when we say asymmetric binary. Is it clear? You want me to repeat? Somebody should say. All are quiet. Did you understand? What is this
Yes.
asymmetric? Yeah, okay. Symmetric and asymmetric. Okay. So next is ordinal. Okay. So now what is ordinal? Ordinal means like categoric values only, but then now they have orders. Okay. Some meaningful order is also there. Like say shirt size. If you put like 3 categories, of course we have L, XL, XS and on so many, but say I am categorizing it as 3, like small, medium, large. So of course there is some kind of order, isn't it? A meaningful order, like small is medium is greater than small, large is greater than small, medium. So there is some kind of ordering. Okay, but previously when we said color, we can't say red is greater than white, white is greater than blue, etc. There is no sense, there is no order. So here, but you have like say size or maybe temperature, or you may have what else? Can somebody say me some example for ordinal attributes? Something you should say. You can't be quiet like this. Some ordinal attributes you would have come
Ma'am,
across.
phone
Yeah, yeah.
charge, like if
Sorry.
it's below 30%, it's low.
Uh, uh,
50 to 60% is medium, and
yes.
90% above is high.
Yes, yes. So it's a battery charge. If it is high, medium, low, if you give, it has an it has an order. So when it is low, when it is medium, and when it is high. So these three can be. It's an example for an ordinal this thing attribute. Anybody else? Think, why all of you are so quiet?
The amount of humidity, like in the
Okay.
weather data set,
Mm-hmm.
like amount of humidity in terms of like exactly like the battery thing, high, low,
High, low,
medium.
medium. Okay. So humidity, when we say high, low, medium, of course, it is a ordinal attribute. Anyone else?
Like there would be some hierarchy, ma'am.
Mm,
Uh, Principal, professor, and student, something
mm.
like that.
Yeah, some kind of position, like say, you say, yeah, principal, that way, or maybe you can say ranking in your employment, like say a junior, say software developer junior, then say software developer, some other names would be there. So there you will have a hierarchy and there is a name, I sorry, order. So that can be like a, so professional ranking can be a, like say professors, you have assistant professor, associate professor, professor. So these are categoric, but then they have an order. Similarly, age, we can say young, adult, senior. So that kind of category, if you bring in, that is also ordinal. So they are all, we have some meaningful order, but we don't know actually what is the difference. Like say when I say, uh, sorry, say if I say height, if I categorize, say short, medium, tall. So I don't know how tall is the person when he belongs to medium and tall. So in the sense, like how taller she is, that comparison, that magnitude is not known, but then we know that this is greater than this. That much, that idea we have. Okay, so when we talk about ordinal. So even your grades, like say you get A plus, B plus, C plus, etc. Though it is some category, it is not just simply some category. There is a order, isn't it? So you know that A plus is first, or O is first, then A plus, then A. Those kind of difference order is there. So that is also one example. So maybe you can think of survey ratings, isn't it? There you put numbers like say very satisfied, not satisfied, neutral, somewhat satisfied, like that. So maybe very dissatisfied, you can put 0. Then somewhat satisfied, you usually rate it, isn't it? So after some say buying something or watching a movie or something. So when you rate it, it is like say from a scale of 1 to 5 or something. And each of that number is having an order, and you are actually representing a categoric value only there. So satisfied, not satisfied, highly satisfied, and all that. So that is also this survey kind of rating also, we say it's an example for ordinal data. So these kind of examples. So usually it is mainly for say subjective assessment of quality. So it's actually for mainly we are not exactly telling how much, that quantity is not known, but we are trying to bring in some order. So those kind of places we may have these kind of ordinal attributes. Okay, and sometimes when we discretize our numeric quantities, like say we have discussed about in decision tree and all, we have discussed about say for example height, or say age. So age, actually it's a continuous value, but when you discretize it, maybe you have discretized it to high, medium, low, something like that. So there is an order. Sorry, age, when you discretize, it would be like say young, adult, senior, something like that. If it is a temperature, actually it is a continuous value, but when you discretize it, it is actually something like say cool, medium, hot, etc. So mostly when you discretize your numeric value, it would come to a some kind of ordinal attribute. Okay, so ordinal attributes can be obtained from some kind of discretization on the numeric attributes also. So here also this uh, usually the mode is actually more significance. Median also. Mean, of course, doesn't make any sense even if it is ordinal attribute. Okay, so they are all actually nominal, binary, ordinary, sorry, ordinal, all these are qualitative. Okay, so they are actually describing the feature of an object without giving an actual size or quantity. So when I say cool, medium, hot, I don't know how cool it is than the other. That part is not clear, but we just say that this is cooler than that. That understanding is there. Okay, so there is no quantitative information provided there, but we have a qualitative this thing in picture. Okay, so then we say it is ordinal. Okay. Now there is something called discrete and continuous. Okay, so of course these things what we discussed are all discrete, are binary, nominal, numeric, etc. But when we say discrete, usually we are talking about say mainly what we are meaning is we have discrete or finite set of values. So they are telling about zip codes, profession, set of words in a document, all that becomes discrete. Sometimes it would be represented as integer variables or the other ways, the categories also, but they are all discrete, like you have finite set of values. But of course binary is some special case of discrete values where you have only two values possible. Now, if it is continuous, so discrete are previously discussed, all these examples would fall under discrete. Now, continuous attribute, what are they? Are temperature, height, weight, age, etc. When you have numbers which are continuous, like infinite values it could take. So we say continuous attribute. So I think discrete, continuous, etc. you have started learning from long back. So it's the same here, but the attribute takes discrete values or it takes continuous values. Okay, now we are talking about similarity and dissimilarity. So I think similarity maybe we didn't discuss till now, but dissimilarity of course we have discussed, because distance measures we have discussed, Euclidean distance and other distance measures. So that is our uh, dissimilarity, or we say distance. Okay, how far it is from the other. So that is our dissimilarity. And similarity is like something like, if you have heard of cosine similarity, or we will discuss it anyways. So it is like how close or how similar two objects are. Okay, so when you have high values, we say they are more close or more similar. And dissimilarity is like when they are high, we will say they are very dissimilar. So if the distance is less or the dissimilarity is less, we say they are very similar objects. Of course, it's so this proximity can be something which is similar to this dissimilarity, similarity. So they're talking about data metrics. This is our instances, and so features and the instances, how we represent our data set. Okay, so each instance and this corresponding feature. So we have p features and n instances. That's all. That is our n data points with p dimensions. That is our data metrics. Now, what is dissimilarity metrics? Are distance calculation. So if you remember your single linkage or clustering algorithms, you would have done this distance calculation of each point to each other point. So that matrix what you represented was your dissimilarity matrix. Usually it's a triangular matrix because whatever you find here is actually the same. It's symmetric. I mean, it's a same content, because if I take distance between 2 and 1 and 1 and 2, it's the same. So like that. So what are the dissimilarity metrics what we are already familiar with, like say Euclidean distance, Manhattan distance, etc. So the metrics would be like this. X1, X2, X3 are your instances. Okay, so data metrics, if you can see, these are your features or attributes and these are your instances. So they are actually represented in the graph also. And we find the distance of every point to every other point. Of course, one triangular matrix is shown because we need to find only either below the diagonal or above the diagonal. That's enough. So Euclidean distance is shown here. Similarly, you have, so Minkowski distance is the generalized, generic one, where you have say p-dimensional objects, h is the order of the distance, and so it is h root of that power. So when h equal to 2, that is our Euclidean distance. Okay, h equal to 1, that is our Manhattan distance, and so on. So like if you can see, Manhattan is your normal, just what is that, difference of each of these attributes. So that that's all we do in our Manhattan distance. And here it is squared distance. I mean square in the sense each attributes square distance, the difference squares, add it, and then the root. So it is h equal to 2, and it is actually, this is the generalized version of it, Minkowski distance. We usually use Euclidean distance, Manhattan distance also in some places, but others also are there. So just to bring that, it has been put. Excuse. So I think we'll stop here. So this is just some example of how we'll calculate Manhattan distance, how we'll calculate Euclidean distance for this particular data matrix. Okay, so this is our data matrix, this is our dissimilarity matrix. So this we'll discuss in the next class. Okay, is it clear, or you want? I think these are the basic things, you would have already done it here and there. Anything to ask? Otherwise, we'll end this session.